Let's tackle a Reddit question with the IRS Form W-4. What went wrong with my W-4? So the question is, tax season, I was planning on having someone else do my taxes this year, but out of curiosity, I put our stuff through TurboTax last night. I made around $50,000. My wife made $62,000. We both claimed our son for $2,000 on our W-4s. Nothing other than that as far as exemptions, etc. With the standard deduction, TurboTax told me we owe $6,000 to the Fed. What could have caused this? So that is a very common issue that I see with the IRS Form W-4. And it's not entirely your fault for making the mistake because I don't think the directions are very good. But in any case, here's what's going on. So when you're looking at the W-4, there's going to be this step 3 where you're going to claim your dependents and other credits. They shouldn't call it the child tax credit or the dependent section. They should just call it the credit section because that is exactly what it is. Now, if you read it and you just multiply by the amount of qualifying children that you have and you put 2,000, that's probably what you were thinking. So you put in $2,000 for both you and your spouse. However, the directions would tell you that married filing jointly is together. So you only get one credit, not two. By putting $2,000 on each W-4, that means you're increasing the amount of tax credits. That's reducing your withholdings throughout the course of the year and the reason why you had a $6,000 tax bill through TurboTax. Now, it's nothing to do with TurboTax, just the way the calculations work. So let me show you what this actually breaks down to on a paycheck. So if we go over here to the ADP's paycheck calculator and I put in one of those jobs at $50,000, and let's see what we have here. Let me get rid of the child tax credit just so we can see the difference here. The earnings are $50,000 and our current withholdings is going to be $43 for our federal income tax withholding. So it's $43 that we're withholding. Now, if we go to the tab that says marriage filing jointly, and then we go ahead and take a look at these 4 boxes right here. And just to point out that those 4 boxes that I just had up on the screen are 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the paper version. So that's where you would enter it in here. If we go back to here and we'll look at that any dependent amount section, we put in $2,000 and then I click, we can see that it drops to $4.54. So again, if I take that out and I put 0 for the amount of tax credits, then it's going to jump to 43. Now that is on a per paycheck basis. So I only filled this out for one of the spouses, the $50,000. Then if you went over and entered in the $62,000, we're going to see the same exact thing occur. We're withholding $70.69 per paycheck. And we flip this to $2,000. So we're taking one child tax credit, the full amount, that dropped to $32.23. So combining it, you're basically having too much taxes or too much credits applying to your withholdings. So you're not withholding enough. So here's the fix. So if we flip over to the online estimator and just enter in all of the incomes, take the standard deduction, but I'll hold off on putting the child tax credit just for a second to show you that that would equal $9,679 in total taxes. Now, whether or not you withheld that throughout the course of the year or not, this would be the total amount that you would have had to pay on your taxes. Now, if we look at the tax credit section and go and add one child, let's say they're 4 years old, we're going to see this is going to drop by exactly $2,000. And that's exactly what happened. So when we go ahead and say we don't want a refund here, and then we go down to the 2 jobs, we have 1 and 2, it's going to pre-fill it in. But notice that when we click on one of these, that it did not put anything for the child tax credit section because based on the information that we already put in from our last pay stubs, it made the adjustment. And where are those adjustments coming from? Going back to where you entered in your jobs, that is, and I just threw in numbers here, but how much have you been paid? How much have you already withheld year to date? And what this is trying to calculate is to hit this exact amount. It's trying to withhold throughout the course of the year $7,679 so you don't owe anything and you don't have a refund at all. That's what it's trying to do. So if we drag it all the way over here, and again, it's going to give us exactly what we should put in for both jobs. And neither of these jobs is going to put anything in that section. It doesn't mean that you're not applying or qualifying for the child tax credit. it is applying it, but based on your withholdings, these are the adjustments that you need to make. So first, you only qualify for the one tax credit, so you need to split that up between the spouses. And second, just use the online estimator. It's way easier, way more accurate, and that's what I always recommend doing. So use the online estimator. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.